Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
From our virtual studios in the Netherlands
and Camarillo, California,
it is time once again for the Marketing Geeks. Yes, we are back, and out of the top marketing shows out there, we have been awarded as one of the marketing shows that are out there for your listening pleasure.
We are on the list of shows. We made it. We made it on the list. I don't know what list that is, but we're on it. And this week, Andros,
are good. Yes,
we have a very special guest on this week because we're going to talk about Pinterest this week. And I don't even think we have a Pinterest page for Marketing Geeks.
We don't, because demographically, more women have Pinterest than men.
Which is
a fact.
A very sexist thing to say, but that's just you, though. So
you know what? I'm a woke male, and I will own that, and that's how I roll, man. I'm learning, and I'm willing to own what is mine. So yes,
as long as you're learning.
Not only that, as long as I'm learning, and not only that, this guest is pretty awesome. You're going to get a special gift at the end of the show if you listen all the way through. So with that, Marketing Geeks. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Mr. Man?
I'm excited. Like I said, I am pumped to learn how to market my business with Pinterest.
I could definitely use a refresher, but before we do that, you know what we need to do?
What's that?
Pay some bills. So here we go.
As a chef, I know flavor doesn't begin in the kitchen. It begins on the land. And Westhome's nature-led Australian Wagyu is a story written in the landscape of Northern Australia. Cooking is storytelling, and Westhome Wagyu carries a story of Northern Australia itself. Raw, powerful, and deeply authentic. It's a testament to the passion and care raised in the rhythm of Northern Australia. I'm Chef Maylin from 88 Club in Los Angeles, and I invite you to visit westhome.com/Maylin to learn more. And taste a story only Westhome nature-led Australian Wagyu can tell. That's westhome.com/MEILIN.
Trading at Schwab is now powered by Ameritrade, giving you even more specialized support than ever before. Like access to the trade desk, our team of passionate traders ready to tackle anything from the most complex trading questions to a simple strategy gut check. Need assistance? No problem. Get 24/7 professional answers and live help, and access support by phone, email, and in-platform chat. That's how Schwab is here for you, to help you trade brilliantly. Learn more at schwab.com/trading.
And we're back. I hope you, at least check out our sponsor, because that does help us. And, people need to be just looked at. That's all I can say. And the next guest definitely needs to be looked at, because I looked at her website. It's awesome. And she has a great story, and she's going to tell us a little bit about Pinterest and how to navigate it and leverage it. And without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Angie Gensler.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me on.
Hey.
No, thank you for being on. And you told us before the show started that you've never listened to the show, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah. So that's why we got her as a guest, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we did it. Actually, I checked out your website, and it's angiegensler.com, or as they would say in the Netherlands, Angie Gensler. And that's ANGIEGENSLER. And you have a pretty good website. You've basically took the leap. Why don't you tell us, first of all, a little about your story? Because I think it's really cool.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, so I came from a corporate marketing background, and I worked in corporate marketing for about 10 years and loved my job. I absolutely loved what I did until one day I didn't. I just kind of lost the passion and just kind of hit me one day. I was like, wow, I am doing all of this work and I'm just not feeling the purpose anymore. And I miss my kids. I was traveling a lot and I really
Did you get burnout?
Yeah, I think I did get burnout. I mean, a part of it too was my boss changed at one point. And so now I had a new boss that had different values than me and required a lot more impromptu travel and meetings. So I didn't feel like I was in control of my schedule anymore. And that drove me freaking crazy.
And by different values, you mean he was a dick?
It was actually a she. So
by different values, you mean she was a dick.
She was a dick, yes. So my previous boss was amazing. He was just the greatest. And he taught me that, like, one of his big quotes that I will never forget from him. He said, why in the hell would I work 40 hours when I can get the job done in 20? And he said that once in a leadership team meeting. I mean, he was in front of everyone on his leadership team and he said this to us and he's like, you guys are all crazy. Why are you working so many hours? And it was like, yeah, why would I if I can do it in fewer? And
isn't it because like they make you work those hours? I mean, most corporate jobs, like they don't care that you can get the job done faster. They still want their hours.
Yes.
Yeah, which makes no sense. I agree with that.
So ridiculous. Yeah.
But that's just kind of how it is for a lot of jobs.
Absolutely. And so I was so blessed for years to have this previous man as my boss. He was amazing. And then this woman comes in and yeah, she was a dick.
Something tells me she didn't. Something tells me she didn't appreciate 20 hours of work as counting as 40.
No, definitely not. And
I'm very intuitive.
Yeah. She was good about like she still valued family, so she was really great about honoring my kids and my family commitments. But no, she wanted 40 plus hours out of everybody, and we all had to travel a lot and show up at a meeting that she'd schedule last minute, and it was really frustrating.
And what were you doing at that time? Like, what was your main job function?
So I was the leader of marketing for an HVAC company. So it was very sexy. I was marketing commercial.
Air conditioning is.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for letting me know that, because I had no idea what HVAC was. I was trying to like figure like what's the H for?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. Yeah. So big, and it was all commercial. So it was.
So what happened? Like you got into big trouble, right?
Yeah. I almost got fired. So I was traveling. Yeah, I was traveling for work, and I was part of this big leadership program where they take people from all over the country who basically they're like, okay, you're going to be our next level, like top executives, and we're going to train you and groom you and fly you all over the country for trainings. And so I was at one of these trainings in New York City, and, we're in meetings all day. And then afterwards, we have the nights free to ourselves. So me and a bunch of other people went out to dinner, and then we were like, let's go down to Wall Street. Let's go just like tour the city and hang out. So we go down to Wall Street, and there's the bull, right? And so I look at my coworker, I'm like, I want you to take a picture of me. I'm going to grab that bull's balls, and I want you to take my picture.
Which everyone does. I mean, if you look at the statue, if you haven't been to New York and you haven't seen that statue that's in front of the stock exchange, is this giant bull, and the ball, it's like got these giant balls, and they're actually they're clean. They're like shiny because it's like a tradition. Everyone goes and rubs the balls. That's what you do.
Yeah. And I'm just the kind of woman that's going to grab the bull by the balls. So it's like,
I hope you get consent first, because I'm a woke man and I know you got to do that.
I totally did. Totally.
Okay, good.
So my coworker's taking all these pictures on his phone. We think it's hilarious. We go back, no big deal. The next day, everyone's laughing about it. Well, then a couple days later, I get back to my office after the trip, and my HR rep calls me in and she says, we need to talk. I heard that you took inappropriate photos while on a work trip, and you might get fired over this.
What?
I was like, right? And I was like, oh, shit. So I call my dad, and my dad's an attorney, and I tell him what happens. And he goes, Angie, that's bullshit. Pun intended. And he was like, he's been giving me all this advice on what to say and how to document it. And the whole thing ended up blowing over. But what it made me realize is in that moment, it really hit me. I was like, wow, I thought I was going to be with this company for a long time. I thought I was going to work super high up the ranks. I was really loyal. And then it hit me. I'm like, if they don't appreciate the kind of person I am, because I'm the kind of woman that will grab the bull by the balls. And if that's not okay, then I do not belong here.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that in my mind, like, companies in the 21st century need to know that that's actually an Instagrammable moment for the company. You know what I'm saying? Like people would look at that and be like, awesome, I'm going to do business with them. Right. And so they're obviously living by this old standard that, we talk a lot about the shift in how companies do business, but this is definitely one of them. I mean, like companies that stand by this kind of stoic sort of like, you got to be adults, whatever that is.
Yes.
So you took the leap and you decided you were going to,
it's also a different value system. I mean, like that's funny. Like that should be considered funny, but it's like you think of some of these companies though, they still value like you have to wear formal dress, even though the clients don't even come into the offices. Some of these companies. So I think that's shifting a lot for most companies. I mean, I've read articles about how millennials have kind of changed corporate culture for a lot of big companies in that regard. Like now you can take photos grabbing balls from the bowl. I don't know. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
But it's you got to have a sense of humor. It's fun. It's funny, and it's a metaphor. And if you can't see that, then you're right not to want to work for that company.
Yeah. Yeah,
so what was the climb out of there, and how did you start doing what you're doing now?
Yeah. So after that, my husband and I kind of dove into about 5 or 6 months of just research, figuring out, okay, what is my next step? What kind of business could I create? What's the model look like? And we explored every avenue, from consulting and we'd owned other types of businesses before. And our research kept going back to a blog. And we thought, man, like of our skill sets, because my husband does web design, and so we thought, wow, from all of our different skill sets that we have and the experience that we have, a blog just really seems to make the most sense. So I started AngieGensler.com in November. We started building the site. This is November of 2016. And then we launched it on December 18th, 2016. And at the time, it was kind of funny. So at the time of launch, we wrote some goals up on the whiteboard that we had. And one of the goals was to get 100 email subscribers by July. So I think we gave ourselves like 6 months to get 100 email subscribers. And we got them in 10 days.
Nice.
And,
whoa.
Yeah. And we were just kind of like, oh, okay, well, we're onto something here. And then by 30 days, I had 543. I mean, it was crazy. And I was able to do that. Like it grew so quickly, pretty much from Pinterest. And
how did you do that? Like give us the process of how you did that so quickly.
Yeah. So with Pinterest, a lot of people, what they don't realize is that it's a search engine. And so they use it as a social network, and it really needs to be viewed more as a search engine. So I did a lot
not just for cupcakes.
Yes. It's not just for food and fitness and fashion
and DIY.
Yeah. And just for an SEO perspective, let me, if you don't mind me busting in there, and please, if there's anything that you want to add, by all means, one of the ways that Google looks at rankings as far as how they rank companies is through authority. If a website is mentioned on another site that has authority, then it will take that into account and give you a higher ranking on the search results. And 2 websites that are easy to do that with, well, 3 actually, is YouTube, Pinterest, and LinkedIn, because they're open to Google search engines. And so Google considers all of those sites as ones that have really good authority. So that was a smart move on your part.
Thank you.
And what was you went on Pinterest, and so what was the type of content that you were posting, and how were you getting traffic from that?
Yeah. So I had done a bunch of keyword research, and I was promoting. I had 3 different blog posts and 1 lead magnet at the time when I launched. And so my lead magnet was a social media content calendar, and it was just a freebie that I gave out, and it was pretty basic, but it was so killer that people were just going nuts over it.
Did you design it yourself?
Yep. I designed it from scratch. It's what I used in my corporate job. And I thought, well, if this helped me in my corporate job, surely it will help other people. And I just I tweaked it a little bit so it could work for more small businesses and not like in the corporate setting. And then actually... So
you allowed for ball grabbing bowls in this new version, the new non-corporate version.
Yes. It wasn't all buttoned up.
Okay.
But, side note on that, which we can get into later if you want, but that freebie that grew my list freaking bonkers that first year, I ended up then turning into a paid product, and that paid product has now turned me into a 7-figure business.
What? Oh, wow. Seven figures. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's another cool little rabbit hole we can go down later.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Which is funny because we're a 7-figure business too, but that's like $7 because we have 7 listeners. So, we're right there with you, Angie Gensler.
I love it. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so sorry, I sidetracked. So I had that lead magnet, the calendar, and then I had 3 blog posts that were all about social media. So one of the big ones was like what to post on social media. And that's really it. I did not have a ton of content, but I was sharing it to Pinterest group boards and then just doing some pinning, like scheduled pinning using a tool called Tailwind. And that's it. And it got me over 5,000 page views that first month, over 500 email subscribers. It was working like crazy.
And so what was the kind of stuff that you were pinning?
So I would pin pins of my own content. So those 3 blog posts in the lead magnet. And then I would also find other people's content if I found good blog posts about different social media channels. So I was trying to post different stuff about, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, any good tips, resources, helpful information that I found from other people related to social media marketing, I would pin that as well.
So were you grabbing like inspirational quotes from those articles and then just kind of making like brief Canva memes and then putting them on Pinterest? Or what are the photos or images that you were using with your, when sharing an article, when sharing this content?
Yeah. So a lot of the articles, most of the marketing articles on Pinterest, typically they're created by marketers. So the marketers know that you have to have a really good pin design with a good headline. So everything that I pin is always a long image. So it has a 2:3 size ratio. And then it has some sort of headline on it so that it's really easy as people are scrolling through the feed, they can see exactly what this article, this piece of content is about.
So is it like an infographic or is it actually like
No, it's pretty much just an image with text.
Okay.
Now, there are some infographics. There are some of those, but, infographics tend not to produce as much traffic. They get a lot of saves. A lot of people like to save them and then refer back to them later. But if you actually
and later never comes.
Yeah, later never comes. Exactly. And so I think that is kind of one actually mistake that a lot of people make with Pinterest marketing is they think, oh, well, it's kind of like Instagram where I can just share some really beautiful images or I can share a quote or an infographic, and that'll get a buttload of saves. But the problem is a save does not translate to traffic, which doesn't translate to results and sales. So you want to get clicks. So you need to give someone some sort of incentive to click, which means you
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, that's okay. I was just going to say it means you have to have really powerful headlines that really compel someone to be like, I need to know more about this and click.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at your Pinterest board here, and because it's on, you could get to it from your website, angiegensler.com. There's a link at the bottom of the description of this podcast. But it looks like you just have these giant, basically banners that where do you create those? Are those like in Canva or like how do you?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, yep. I use canva.com. And I mean, you can use any sort of design tool, but Canva's probably one of the easiest ones to use. And
it looks great. I mean, it's very simple. Anyone could do this. So you created blog posts with these really good graphic images on Pinterest. And that drove enough traffic to your website that people just signed up and you got in 6 months. How much did you end up getting?
Oh, I don't know what my number was at 6 months. It was definitely in the thousands. I think I hit I hit 5,000. It might've been by July or August, I think. So within about 6 months.
How big is your list now?
It's about 25,000.
25,000. And that's within about 3 years. Cause you said you started this at the end of 2016. So that's like 2.5 years. Actually.
Yeah. 2.5 years. Yep.
Wow. Impressive.
That's amazing. And so now you are basically, doing this full time. And so does your work basically break down to, consulting or selling products on your website? Like does most of your business come from, would you say?
Yeah, so I don't do any consulting. I sell digital products. So I have a couple small, lower dollar digital products that I sell. And then I also have a few Pinterest courses that I sell as well.
Yeah. And that's it. That's it. You've built a 7-figure business off of low ticket items then. How much do your Pinterest courses cost? Like what are the price ranges on those? Just give me an idea.
Yeah, so I have a Pinterest Marketing 101. That one's, actually I just raised the price. I think that one I just raised to $197.
Don't tell us that. You just.
I mean, I just dropped it. It's so affordable.
Okay, yeah, it was $997. Now it's $197.
Now it's only $197.
The information in here is worth $5,000, and normally you would sell it for $1,000, but because you're a listener of this program, $197.
You get it for the low price.
And I'm looking on the website now, Angie Gensler.com /P/Pinterest-101. And so what kind of things are in this particular course, for instance?
Yeah, on the Pinterest Marketing 101. So with that one, I talk a lot about how to build the foundation. And I think a lot of people, they jump into Pinterest viewing it like, maybe they view it like another visual platform like Instagram, or, they just think, oh, it's just like Google. And it's like, it's really its own beast. So I really dig into the concepts of how to build a solid foundation, how to build out your profile, what makes a good solid pin design. I have a ebook that I created. I basically developed, it's called the Viral Pin Formula. And so I studied pin design in depth, and I studied what works, what doesn't work. I studied all the data and analytics within Tailwind, within my Pinterest account, to see what are people clicking on. And I discovered 7 different ingredients that really make a pin just, I could say go viral, that's why I call it the Viral Pin Formula, but essentially get a pin clicks. What causes someone to click on it? And so there's those 7 ingredients. So within the course, they'll learn those 7 ingredients and how to develop a really good looking pin.
Can you share just a couple of those with us?
Yeah. So one of them is to design a long pin. So as I mentioned, with a 2-to-3 ratio, because what you don't want is a square or a landscape image on Pinterest. You want really long images. Anything smaller than a 2-to-3 ratio, it's going to get completely lost in the feed, and people, it's just not going to get clicks on it.
Which is really interesting, because that almost goes against the conventional wisdom of making sure that it shows up on a cell phone. So this is like, I guess it could still show up on a cell phone, because it's almost, the ones that you're talking about are almost cell phone shaped, right?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, does that align with like the Canva? Because Canva has a pre-sized Pinterest graphic. Does that align with that ratio?
Yes, it does.
It does. Okay.
It does. Yep.
Now, I wanted to ask you about the headlines. Do you have a specific process? Have you studied copywriting at all? Do you have like a certain certain headlines that you find work better than others? Like, are you opening up like loops? I don't know if you know what that means, but like leaving cliffhangers, or what are you doing for your headlines?
Yeah. So I have noticed that on Pinterest lists, so the listicles, people love numbered posts. Those perform probably 10-to-1 against any other type of headline. And then using really strong power words. So power words just kill it on Pinterest. So, ultimate and mouth watering, if it's about food, throwing in those words can completely transform a headline.
Yeah. How do you feel about the word squishy?
Is that a power word?
Is that a power word? Or?
It doesn't seem too powerful. I know.
Really?
Quite squishy.
Well, it depends. It depends how you use it. Like, for instance, I met Donald Trump and I shook his hand. Squishy.
It was squishy.
You know, it depends on how, like, with the context. But I'm looking at your pins, and indeed, you know, you've got like the way you've designed it. You've got like 7 Instagram marketing tips from expert brands, and you have marketing and expert highlighted. 6 incredible, which is like big reasons to SiteGround is perfect for bloggers. So you know you are definitely following your own rules, which is good because here at Marketing Geeks we don't. That's why we only have 7 listeners, despite the fact that we are expert marketers. And if you were in the room, you would have seen expert.
And we have very strict rules. We have very strict rules. We just don't follow them. That's the only problem.
That's right. Because our rules are made to be broken, or we're lazy. I'm not sure.
It's one of those two.
It's testing. It's all about testing, right?
So you basically, at what point did you make that leap? Like you saw that did you leave the job first, or did you realize that you were really like, oh wow, this has legs, and so you then made the leap? Like what was that transition like?
Yeah, it was tough. It was a hard transition because I was the sole income provider for my family. My husband was a stay-at-home dad. So we were relying completely on my income. So I could not quit my job.
Yeah.
And so we worked to build it. I think the first year I probably made like $200 and so I continued to work full time. And then at month 20, so it was April of 2018, it was 20 months after I launched, we finally got to the point where we decided, okay, we've made just enough. It still wasn't enough to live off of, but we'd made just enough, and we built up enough savings to last us for quite a while that we thought, if we're going to do this, now's the time. Like, it's time to do it, because we're to the point where I can't continue to grow the business with the amount of work that I had with my full-time job. And it was almost like it's a now or never situation. And so I took that leap, and it was one of the most terrifying decisions of my life, because we had to cut so much. We cut everything, and we didn't go out to eat. We didn't put our kids in any activities. Like,
what about Netflix?
Canceled all of our vacations.
Yeah, that was my question. I was just wondering.
Yes, we did. We canceled Netflix. We canceled Hulu. We canceled Amazon. We canceled Amazon Prime.
My God. That's serious. That is serious.
We cut everything. And at first it was the most freeing, amazing moment ever. And then I went through probably a couple weeks where I'm like, holy shit, what did I just do to my family? Like, what did I just do? Like, and how selfish am I being? Because I hate my job, and now I'm being selfish, and I'm not allowing my kids to do all these things because I want freedom, but now looking back, it was absolutely the best decision.
Outside of your immediate family, I mean, because I see that you have an MBA, it looks like, right? You got an MBA.
Yep.
So outside of your immediate family, did your parents freak out about this too? Like the fact that you're leaving like a corporate job, like a security? Yeah. I mean, because I know that like my family, we have very different value systems, my parents versus me, in terms of like what they see as secure and, what I do for a living. So I'm just curious, like, was that also a struggle, not just your immediate family, your husband and your kids, but also your parents, like in any other family? Were they giving you crap on this, or how'd that go? Right.
So, what's so funny about that is that was actually what held me back for so long, I think, from quitting. I was terrified that my dad was going to say, Angie Sue, I didn't raise you to just be to go quit.
And he's a lawyer, you said, right? So he's also a lawyer. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And so I was really scared I was going to get that talk from my dad about, I raised you better than this. And, what are you going to put your family through, and how are you going to provide? And when I called them, and we actually didn't tell them, my husband and I did not tell anybody for probably it might have been a month or two before we told anyone that I even quit. And when I told them, they were like, that's awesome. You're going to do amazing. We have no doubts. And I was like, wait, are you really serious? And they're like, Angie, we trust you. We know you. You are smart. You're calculated. You wouldn't quit if you didn't know that you could do this. You're going to do it. You'll be fine. I was like,
awesome.
Okay. Yeah, it was really surprising and wonderful.
Now, did you do any social media marketing in your career too? Were you managing like social accounts for your corporate career? You said marketing, but I don't know what you did for them exactly.
So I pretty much. So it was a $150 million business, but it started out as just me. So for years, I was the only marketer at all. So I did everything from I built the website. I managed all the social media channels. If we needed to do, direct mail or trade shows, I did it all.
So I've got two questions. The first one is, let's say that you were advising a small business or a social media manager on the way that they should approach their whole social systems. And somebody is just kind of new. They come up to you and they're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. What would you recommend to that person as far as how to deal with social media in this day and age? What would be the platforms, and what would be kind of the things that you would recommend them to do?
Yeah. So the first thing that I would recommend them to do is do their research and narrow down to one social media channel. That's it. I think so many people, when they come into it as a brand new business, they think, okay, I have to do social media. And they think that means I have to be on all the channels, and they completely burn themselves out because they're trying to learn Twitter, which is totally different from Instagram, which is totally different from Facebook and from they're all so unique.
And Gary Vee says to look at TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in a year from now, he'll probably tell us a different one that he's investing in.
So find the one channel, and this makes sense. The company that I'm doing a majority of my consulting for right now, they are mostly like a very niche B2B business. And so for that, to me, it's LinkedIn, right? That's where we put all of our focus. But I do create content and I replicate it on the other social channels as well, just to get it out there. But the one that I really focus on is LinkedIn. So as somebody focuses on that particular channel, what type of engagement would you recommend with somebody?
As far as how to engage on that channel, or what level to look at?
What's the type of content that people seem to be responding to most? Like on Pinterest, based on your research, it's like something with a number, 10 important pieces of blogging advice, which, important is big, this is one of the things that you have here. So what kind of engagement it seems to be the most popular type of engagement these days?
Yeah. The one type of post that I see generates the most engagement, most comments, most conversation is questions, and simple questions. I think a lot of people have gone the super, super long post route, and on Instagram, a lot of those really authentic, I'm going to share my truth, and I'm going to share
super vulnerable post alert.
Yes. Those are huge on Instagram. Yeah. And that works well. But I've also seen that no matter what channel we're talking about, just a really simple one-line question. And it could be something that has nothing to do with your business. It could be as simple as coffee or tea. And instantly you get this big debate going, and tons of people wanting to chime in and share, why they think coffie is better than tea.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so
who farted? That, right?
What I also see is if you act in somebody else's self-interest. So if I put out a post and say, please share your blog, or please share your podcast, or please share something like that, you get a ton of engagement because a lot of people are self-interested, and you give them an opportunity to be self-interested, and they jump on it. That's what I've experienced.
Absolutely.
As well.
Absolutely. And that kind of is perfect in alignment with one of the myths. I teach 5 different social media marketing myths. And one of them, people think that social media is a broadcast channel. So a lot of small businesses, and even some of these big corporations, they'll use their social media channel to put out their news releases and product updates. And it's all about us. You know, this is my company and this is about us. And it's not. Social media is not about.
And they probably don't even respond to the comments if they ever get any too.
Exactly. Yeah. And really who wants to comment on a news release? Like,
true. Very true.
Let alone read it, you know, and the truth is it's not a broadcast channel. It's an interactive channel. You know, it's social media. So yeah, how can you make your content about your ideal customer? You know, so if you can ask questions or just create helpful posts or again, like you said, let them promote themselves. But whatever it is that you're creating, think about, does this resonate or help or serve my ideal customer in some way?
Now, I do want to, because we are getting closer to the end of our interview here. I do want to talk a bit about how you transitioned into information products. Because you created your calendar for social media posting. Mm-hmm. You created your Pinterest courses. I want to hear about how you created those. Now, are you doing anything else? Are you taking on private clients at all? I mean, are you taking like high-end private at all? Or is that's it? You're only doing the information stuff. So you're very leveraged.
Only doing information. Yep.
Very cool. So tell us a little bit about like how you transitioned into selling those products, what that was like in the beginning, and how you kind of turned the corner. Are you running paid traffic now? I want to hear about the information product side.
Yeah. So as I said, I had started with that freebie opt-in. So it was just a free social media content calendar for 2017. Mm-hmm. It did really, really well. And then I started developing a Pinterest course and thought, okay, I'll do a course and then I'll also do Pinterest management and Pinterest consulting. And I was really trying to force that. And it was just a lot of work. And as I kept kind of working uphill and I don't want to say hustling because I've never really hustled.
That's right. You give the double middle finger you said the double finger, not the double middle finger. Is that the double middle finger? The double finger?
Yeah. Double middle finger. Yep.
The hustle. Now, is that a shot at Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, the hustle? That's the hustle culture.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I've never liked that idea of like hustle your face off and work till, you don't like work all night.
Go work your job from 7 a.m. till 5 and then from 6 o'clock till 2 a.m. you need to work on your side hustle.
Yes.
That is literally what Gary Vee says.
Yes. Yeah. It's exactly what he teaches. And I know it works for him and I know it works for other people. So I don't want to say that's like a horrible idea, but it's bad for me. And I was like, that will not work for me. And I have 2 very small children. And to me, I was like, I am not at all willing to compromise my sleep or my time with them.
Yeah, no doubt. How old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking?
So now they are 7 and 5.
Cool.
So
I got a 4-year-old
just starting
myself.
to build it. Yeah.
I have a 1-year-old. He has a 4-year-old. But I got the youngest.
Nice. Yeah. So you guys know, I mean, you're kind of in the thick of it. Those early ages, like they require a lot of attention.
Yes. Especially the 1-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like having a little drunk around you all the time. They wake up in the morning and they're just like, I'm hungry. Hey, where you going? I hate you. I love you guys. I just shit myself. Like
they're always stumbling over things and falling and tripping.
That's it.
I will say that I had to watch my son over the weekend for like 4 hours because my wife went out with her friends, and it's like I don't know how a single parent could ever do it. I just don't understand. Like that 4 hours was rough because usually my kid's at daycare right now. My kid's at daycare. That's the way to do it. but man, yeah, it's just it's a lot of work, and I can't do anything. Yeah. I cannot get work done when I'm watching my kid. Like I've tried, and he'll just come over there. He'll put his little paws on the laptop, because they do have paws at that age.
Yeah,
are you talking about your cat or your kid at this point? I don't know if you know the difference, buddy. Your kid is the one without the fur, just so you know, and they probably both go into the cat box.
Probably.
Yeah. For some reason, kids cannot seem to resist that keyboard. They're like, I must type all over it.
Now, okay, let's get back on topic here. Now, Are you doing anything else for revenue generation? Are you doing affiliate marketing? Are you promoting? Because it's you're blogging. That's kind of a medium that lends itself well to affiliate marketing as well. Do you do any of that to bring in some extra money?
I do a little bit, not a whole lot. but I do affiliate just for the products that I use and I absolutely love. But they're bringing in like a teeny tiny little percentage of my
like a couple
revenue.
$100, $1,000.
Yeah, really. It's really not much at all. And so when I found so I created the Pinterest course. This was like 2 years ago, my first Pinterest course. And I was trying to get consulting work, trying to get, some Pinterest management work. And it was an uphill climb. And what I noticed is I just kept getting more and more people raving about the calendar. And so I thought, I wonder if I can turn this into a paid product. Like, can I make this better? Can I increase the value and charge for it? And so I did that for the 2018. I charged a little bit and I made some good money, and not a ton, under probably like $10,000 on it. And I was like, okay, I think I can like scale the shit out of this thing and make it even better for 2019. Is
that a technical term?
It is. That is a technical marketing term. And so for 2019, I made, continued to make it bigger. I made a complimentary product. So in addition to the calendar, I also made 150 image templates that people could edit and customize. And they synced hand in hand with the daily prompts that I was giving people on the calendar. And so again, charged a little bit more, had a whole funnel built out, had a nice upsell offer. And then I started running Pinterest ads and Facebook ads to it. And it exploded. Like, it went bonkers. And it completely transformed our business. It transformed our lives. And it was a $36 product. It was incredible.
Wow. So let me ask you this, and this is actually a question from our lovely project manager, Iris. What is the future in your mind? Like, because we're on the edge of like, bots and deep fakes. And this is there's a whole new AI, there's a whole new sort of rise of automation coming. Anything that you do now won't work in 6 months, generally. What do you see the future looking like in your mind?
Oh, that's a good question. Everybody says video right now, and I'm struggling with that one to believe that like it is going to be video and people should only do video and focus on that. Partly, I think that people are going to get burnt out because you have to be really engaged, to watch a video, to be a part of a video. I kind of feel like the future with posts and social media is it's not going to involve bots. It's not going to involve AI. I think people are very burnt out on that. They're frustrated with that. I think it's going to be more authentic in the sense of like people want to be a part of a group. So I think Facebook groups are only going to continue to get bigger and to grow. People are feeling comfortable and safe to engage within groups. And I know Facebook is pushing them heavy. So they're putting a lot of emphasis on groups. So I think Facebook groups is definitely a place where people would be wise to invest in. And obviously, I think Pinterest is going to be a great place to be too, because Pinterest just went public. So their IPO, I think that went out like mid-April.
Pretty recent, yeah. They're one of the IPOs that actually went up too. I think they didn't crash like
that really surprised me. I was like, my husband was like, "Oh, are we going to invest?" Since and I was we were both like, "It doesn't seem wise yet." So let's just wait. But no, they're doing great, and they have so many plans for improvements in the future. And so I feel like Pinterest is only going to continue to grow and become more of a place where marketers need to be. And they're really continuing to focus on the user experience too, and bringing in more men. They're actually attracting a lot more men, and that demographic is growing.
I've definitely
really
seen that. I've definitely seen that it seems to be growing in the number of males using Pinterest from when it started. It seemed like when it started, it was recipes and DIY and heavy female demographic. So, so you see that.
It's really interesting because And a lot of people don't really think about Pinterest as a marketing tool, right? So this is really important information, especially for those marketing geeks out there who are, trying to really think how to leverage their brand or the brand that they're working for. So this is something that's very interesting. And you mentioned Tailwind a couple of times. Can you just tell us what that is?
Yeah, Tailwind is a Pinterest management software. So it's a SaaS company, an online software, and it's incredible. You can get it for about $10 a month, and it allows you to manage the majority of your Pinterest activity. So you can schedule a lot of your pins. And one thing that tends to scare people when they dig into Pinterest marketing, you'll learn that you need to pin about 30 times a day, which sounds ridiculous, but it's actually a lot easier than it sounds. And it's super easy with Tailwind because you can just schedule a bunch of pins into your queue and Tailwind will send them out at the optimal times. And so Tailwind's a great tool. And it also has a really incredible feature called Tribes. And it allows you to collaborate with people within your own niche. And you share each other's content onto Pinterest and pin one another's content. And so Tribes is a really great way to get a lot more traffic to your website and to help get your pins out on the platform and get them spider webbing throughout Pinterest.
So that's kind of like influencer leveraging. So you're finding other Pinterest influencers in a sense and leveraging their networks, or you're leveraging each other's networks, I should say.
Exactly. Yep.
Now, do you do any speaking on this? Like, because you're like the Pinterest expert. I don't see a ton of people that are, marketing themselves as Pinterest experts. Are you taking on speaking gigs? Are you looking to do that in the future? Is that something down the line?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I do local and very open to national speaking gigs or online. Yes, I love to do speaking on Pinterest. It gets me all jazzed up.
Last couple questions. So Tailwind, is that an app or is that just a SaaS product that you can access from your desktop and from your phone, or how does it work?
So I believe it's an app. It's called the Tailwind app. If you go to tailwindapp.com, but it's like a SaaS and you can access it anywhere with an internet connection.
And then it looks like it does Instagram as well, by the looks of it.
Yes, you can do Instagram as well from it.
Now, when you built your course, your Pinterest course, I'm just curious, did you build it? Your husband's a web designer. Did you build it on your own, or are you using one of those platforms out there like Teachable or one of those course building platforms?
Yeah, we started the very first one we built on our own. I think my husband used MemberPress, and then it was cumbersome and time consuming. And so finally I was like, you know what, screw it. We're going to go to Teachable. And so I use Teachable now and I absolutely love it. It's so easy.
And I imagine you pay the higher fee to keep all the money.
Yep.
Yeah. Makes sense. Especially if you're making 6 or 7 figures from it. So
nice. Well,
it's absolutely worth it.
This is incredible. I mean, so the big takeaways for me are, number one, that you can build a digital product and build a list using Instagram and then sell it. You can possibly get fired from rubbing a bull's balls. And using Teachable to manage your digital products. But you also have some lead generators or freebies, and we want to offer some of our 7 listeners, whoever one of our 7 listeners wants to have one of those, or all 7. What is that free thing you'd like to give some of our listeners?
Yeah. So I have a Pinterest marketing checklist, and it is 37 brilliant things. So get that power word in there.
Power word.
that your listeners can do to help grow their business using Pinterest. And so if they head to my website, angiegensler.com/checklist, they can download that for free.
Oh, nice. I'm going to do that right now, because you know what?
Woo-hoo.
I'm going to totally do some of these things. And
awesome.
for them, I'm going to tell our lovely Iris about some of this. Well, she's actually our biggest fan, our marketing / project manager, because she's one of the 7 listeners who actually donate to the show. So
nice. She listener number 1.
She was donor number 1.
Donor number 1. Nice.
Well, thank you for your time today and for coming on the show. And I do feel like you've provided a ton of value for our listeners. Now, I did want to give you an opportunity also to go ahead and just plug your, if somebody wants to get that $37 product, the social media calendar, where can they go to get that as well?
Yeah, they can head over to angiegensler.com/calendar and they can learn all about it and grab their own copy.
Awesome. Andres, did you have anything else here?
I don't. I mean, I'm going to probably re-listen to this show because I never listened to the show. I'm not one of the 7 listeners, but I'm going to listen to the show and take some of the information and definitely use it because this was super valuable. This was absolutely super valuable. So what's kind of the next thing for you, Angie? Like what are you planning on doing next? Are you just going to cruise on this? Or are you building something new?
Yeah, so right now, I just wrapped up some add-ons to my Pinterest course. So I created some pin design templates. So now it's kind of getting that all ramped up and marketing for that. I created a Tailwind course. And then I got to start working on the 2020 calendar. And then I think I'm going to put together an Instagram marketing course, but not the kind, there's a lot of courses out there for people who want to be like an Instagram influencer. And they want to do like the hashtag vulnerable posts. Mine will be more
super vulnerable.
Oh yeah, sorry. Hashtag super vulnerable. Yeah. So I want to create a course that's more for like your everyday small business owner that really doesn't give a crap about becoming an influencer. They don't want to become Insta famous. They don't want to be super vulnerable. They just want to build their business and connect with their customers on a deeper level. So I want to create a course for that.
Well, my posts on Instagram are usually like, I know you think it's easy, with me flying around in my private jet. I have my private jet photos and things like that, but it's really, really hard. And then I do my vulnerable spiel. So is that like the right strategy? What do you think?
People love that. Totally. It's really relatable.
Totally, right?
So great. And so where can we find you? We can find you at angiegensler.com. Anywhere else that we our 7 listeners might be able to connect with you, or is it mostly just through the website?
Yeah, so definitely through the website. If any of the listeners are Pinterest or YouTube, I'm at Angie Gensler on all the social channels, but YouTube is a great one to go check out because I've got a whole bunch of tutorials on there. So if they want to just get started with some free stuff, that would be a great place to go check it out.
Nice. Well, this has been super great. I mean, I'm on your YouTube channel too. You look like you have a ton of videos. It looks like you're crushing it. Yeah, this was absolutely amazing. Would you mind coming back on our show in a couple of months and kind of giving us a bit more of your wisdom?
Sure, I would love to.
Nice. Well,
let's do it.
I certainly appreciate it. Justin, anything you want to add?
No. I think we're good. But I've learned that corporate culture does not value rubbing the bull's balls, and that's really what I want to leave our listeners with.
It does not. And, for any of our 7 listeners who are thinking about taking that leap, you know what, you got to do it because working for the man is a sucker's game. And hopefully I can teach my son that. That's the, when he was born, I was like, there are 3 things I want from this child. I want him to have a good sense of creativity. I want him to know why George was the best Beatle. And I want him to know that working for the man is for suckers. And
nice.
And what if he says that Ringo was the best? What are you going to do to him?
Then I'm going to have to beat him. I'm just going to have to. So one last question I got for you, Angie. What are you most geeky about? Doesn't have to be marketing related, but just in general, what are you most geeky about?
Oh, what am I most geeky about? It probably is marketing related. I really get like geek out about that. And it would have to be specific to email opt-ins, and how to make teeny tiny little tweaks to optimize and increase conversion rates. I really geek out over that.
Yeah. Like what's your favorite tweak? Just offhand.
Always the headline. Headline is the one tweak that I think gets the best, it has the most incremental change, right? But what's funny is sometimes the color. And that one's kind of the most fun just because it's fascinating. It's like, really? The color can change the conversion rate? It's fascinating.
That is. Well, I am so grateful that you were able to come on the show, and we're going to tell all of our 7 listeners about you, the ones that couldn't make it. But this has been very eye opening, and we look forward to having you back on the show because this was really great.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm excited to come back too. Thanks, guys. This was fun. A lot of fun.
Wow, that was amazing. Angie Gensler. I it's funny because Pinterest is definitely one of the platforms that I don't look at that much. But what I do look at is Geek News, and I think we have some right now.
Better believe it. We damn right do.
What do you got for me, man? What's happened this week?
I guess I got that Spotify has rolled out a new app called Spotify Stations. Yeah. And it's cool for podcasters because it actually creates curated playlists and not just curated playlists, but curated podcasts. So I guess they rolled this out in Australia last year and they've been testing it. And now it's good enough for the US. It passed the Australian test. And now we have it. So if you go to your iPhone, go to your Android, go to the App Store, download it now. I think we'll have more information on it going forward, but for now, just know that they've released this thing and it looks pretty cool. And it could be a game changer in the podcasting space. We'll see.
Well, they're also doing curated podcast lists the same way they did like your Discover Weekly, if you're a Spotify fan like I am, or your Release Radar. They have these curated lists that, they update and they're really good. But now it looks like they're doing curated podcast playlists as well. I actually, the only reason I don't use Spotify for my podcasting.
Why?
Because I listen to all my podcasts at double speed. And so if they introduce that, I would definitely use Spotify for my podcasting, but then again, I would also listen to all my music at double speed too. So maybe that's not a good idea because I'm going to listen to more music faster,
Yes. So what are you using? Castbox right now for the podcast?
Yeah, I am. And it's definitely, I actually paid for it because I found it to be very useful to me. Yeah. So Castbox is great. And
I bought it too. I bought it for iPhone. It's like $5. But
yeah. And look at that, all that value. And which reminds me, if any of our 7 listeners wish to donate to what we do here, you could give it to Castbox or you could just give it to us because we give you value right here.
And shout outs. And we'll give you a shout out on the show. You don't want to miss that opportunity.
No, not one bit. And especially the great news that we bring you like this one. Did you know that Facebook has come out with a new thing called a video creation kit?
I did not know that.
It's a kit, no less. And
tell me more.
It gives you, what's that?
Tell me more about this kit.
Well, it gives you editing, resizing options, and a save feature because you don't want to make a video and not save it. But it looks like it's a tool that automatically turns one video into multiple videos with different aspect ratios to optimize ad placement. So if you upload a video, I guess their AI will take your video and edit it and make it into 3 or 4 more interesting videos because you don't know how to do it right.
That's right. So you're saying that they just think we're dumb and that they're just trying to, that's it. They just think we're dumb. So they're giving us that. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. That's, you can win an election with Facebook. But video advertisers will now be able to save drafts of unfinished videos, making it possible to pick up where their project was, which is weird that you couldn't do that before, but kind of interesting. So, I haven't used it yet, but I guess it's an option now. If you want to do some video marketing through Facebook, they have the video marketing kit. Big news that I was surprised about, iTunes is going away. They're going to kill iTunes. Apple is finally killing iTunes. The product that made them rich is going to disappear. And it makes sense because you have an app for your podcasting. Spotify, as we talked about, like I will never buy music again, which is sad for the, people who make music, but that's just the world we live in. But that's really kind of the future now, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not really going away per se, as it's just being split up into different apps, different sections.
Yeah, they're going to have like Apple Music and they're just basically and admittedly iTunes was getting a little bloated. It was like you had your podcast, you had your music, you had your TV shows, you had your all this stuff. It was getting a little out of hand. So I think it's a smart move on their part. So other big news, and this does affect you, the listener, is the government, the U.S. government, is going to start cracking down on some tech companies for various things. But there's been a lot of talk in different parts of the world, here in Europe too, that they feel that Google is a little too powerful, has a little too much sway in how it feeds data to people, Facebook too. So I have a feeling that there's going to be some sweeping changes within the tech world very, very shortly.
Well, there's an antitrust probe on Google officially, but it seems like from what I've read, they're going to be looking into Amazon and Facebook next or concurrently. So yeah, all those companies, there could be major changes coming down the road if they decide that either of these companies have to be broken up. Then that's going to flip a lot of things on their head.
Yeah, but you know what? It won't affect the good people here at Marketing Geeks who love you. And with that, another fine episode comes to a close. Man, there's like movie news I didn't get to.
Yeah. You know what you didn't get to? Keanu Reeves starring potentially in the Marvel's Eternals movie.
I need to give you my movie review for The Sun Is Also a Star, which I saw. In fact, you know what? Because I love my 7 listeners, I'm going to give that movie review right now. And that's all she wrote, folks.
This is very descriptive. Very descriptive.
Next week we have some amazing guests. We're getting more high-profile guests. It's kind of like people are actually deciding to be on the show, which is great. Because like one of our 7 listeners knows a guy who knows a guy who knows like
a guy. Now, did you know that Robert Pattinson is the official new Batman? I mean, we haven't talked about that. He's the new Batman officially.
Man, we got to do a special like just geek movie episode. But you know what? With that, we just want to bring you the informations into your ear holes. Thank you, everybody. If you want to help us out, leave a review. And with that,